जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad 50 Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
KL Rahul at the toss said that if they get to 200, he'll be very happy. He led from the front because Lucknow has got 196 in their 20 overs and a major contribution of these runs were made by KL Rahul. So he will be very happy with the performance because he really helped them out of this big hole because they were 11 for 2 after 2 overs and we see KL Rahul getting 76 of 48. Deepak Hooda supported him well with 50 of 31 and Badoni got 18 of 13. Sandeep Sharma again the pick of the bowlers, 2 for 31 in his 4. Ashwin got 1 and Trent Bolt got 1. We're back at Cricbuzz live. I'm Saiyami. I have Simon and Joyda with me. Sorry. I have
Congratulations,
to
well done.
Straight away. Go on.
get this out of the way. To get this out of the way.
The smile was just impossible to hide.
Yeah, I was trying very, very hard, but GK, this one's for you. This one's for you, GK. But getting back to the game, Rahul, he'll be very happy with what he's done. A proper captain's knock. His team was in need for him to come and perform, and he's pulled it off for them.
Yeah, and I think he's probably assessed the surface pretty well. Time will tell whether it's enough, but I think there was some pace-off deliveries which were holding a little bit in the surface. We didn't see a lot of turn from Ashwin or even from Chahal. It just seemed to slide on relatively well. So it doesn't look like a bad surface to me, and I think they've got to a point where they'll be happy, but there could have been more.
Yes.
They didn't finish as well as they could have finished. I think the last 4 probably could have been better if a Puran or if KL had maybe stayed there. So even Stevens, I don't think Rajasthan will be overly disappointed. But there was another very, when you're in trouble and the skipper's there assessing how it's playing and all those things that KL does generally very, very well, I think that's a pretty good knock. He's going at around about the rate he's been going all season.
Yeah.
At that 158, 160 rate, which he's been going all season. And when you think about where they've played their games on lower scoring grounds, I think that's pretty good.
But Joyda, KL's given that boarding pass, and like you said, the confidence with which he came out because of the boarding pass
absolutely.
given by Simon.
It's all Simon. It's all Simon. He's good. Now that Simon's got me in the team, I don't need to worry anymore when he played his game. But marvellous partnership.
Yes.
11 for 2, some absolutely inspired swing bowling. I mean, there are 2 bowlers who can really swing the ball. It's Sandeep Sharma and Trent Bolt. Bolt again, that magic up front with his first over, takes a wicket. That too, Quinny de Kock, one of the biggest guys out there. Then Marcus Stoinis got a century last match. Last ball of his first over, Sandeep Sharma knocks him over with a beauty. So you've set it up. You've had a situation where it's 11 for 2. And at 11 for 2 after exactly 2 overs, the next time a wicket falls, it's 126. And for 10.1 overs, just the batting, that partnership, 10.2 overs is absolutely amazing. 115 runs. Look at the way they played. And KL Rahul was the early aggressor, but then Hooda also towards the end started hitting. And I think it was a marvelous partnership because what's Rajasthan's biggest strength? Rajasthan's biggest strength is their spin duo in the middle. They tend to choke you. And in the period that they are supposed to be choked, they scored 10 and over. I mean, that is amazing. Not 10, 11.5 and over.
Yes. But you spoke about what Trent Bolt did. The smile on Simon's face when we went out because it was Trent Bolt starting off doing what Trent Bolt does. And then the second over, that little swing that Sandeep Sharma got, middle stump, Simon, the bowler, was smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, they're both crafty operators. And Trent Bolt's going to have a huge role to play from a New Zealand point of view. So when he's playing in these competitions around the world, he's starting to execute his T20 skills a lot better. 3-4 years ago, you wouldn't have said, or I wouldn't have said he was a genuine death bowling option. I'm still not sure he's the complete package, but up front, taking wickets in the modern 2020 game is the key. And he's done it so often in that first over across his career. And with Sandeep, it's just that wily nature. That's that deceptive nature of what he does. Marcus Stoinis couldn't believe he'd missed it. It's just sort of floated up there and then nipped back off the seam. into the stumps, and it's a nice combination to have. And I think the way they finished the innings off as well, Trent Bolt's last over was exceptional, and Sandeep, barring that first ball 4, was very good in his last over too.
46 in the last 5, huh?
Yeah.
That's not much at all. When you have that much batting and the kind of start they had, the kind of platform they had, 46 in the last 5 could come back to haunt them.
Yeah.
So the two things that I was looking at which really haunts one team will be looking at 46 in the last 5. And that 9.2 is not acceptable given the number of wickets they had in hand. They went into that period just 3 down.
Yeah.
Yes.
With KL Rahul still batting. And they just couldn't convert. And I think that's something they'll look at. It was really good bowling as well. On the other side, I'll look at Rajasthan and say there's one thing that they'll look at and they'll not be happy with at all. Their bowling coach, they gave 15 wides.
Yes.
I mean, Ashwin gave a wide. And I think that's something that's unacceptable because that's like 15 gifts to the opposition. Every team bowls wides now because you have to, because you're trying to sort of get away from the batter's batting swing arc. But 15 is a bit much, and they'll think about it and wonder. If it's a close game, they'll say, did those 15 make a difference?
We'll just have a look at Lucknow's batting card again because besides that partnership between KL Rahul and Deepak Hooda, it felt like just two stories there. We saw that Quinton de Kock and Stoinis both didn't get off to the start, and there's so much spoken about Pooran, who always delivers, but he didn't really have a good game either.
Yeah, and it kind of tells me that it's not an easy surface to get started on. And I think once you're in, you can go a little bit harder. We saw that from Deepak Hooda and from KL as well. And when you go to Aish Badoni and Krunal Pandya, they couldn't quite get the pace of the surface. So it does suggest that it's not easy, not a really difficult 170, 160 pitch, but I don't think it's easy. Once you're in, I think you've got to make the most of it. So the key for Rajasthan will be one of those top 3, if they get in, cash in. It's a 60, 70, 80, 90 type surface. One of those top 3 has to do the job if they get through that power play, because I think that's when it becomes a little more difficult to play on. And once you come in, not easy to get started at a good pace. So that'll be the key, is having someone bat deep through the innings, I think.
Well, let's just have a look at the bowling card because like you said, it wasn't an easy pitch to bat on, but maybe Lucknow can learn a few things from the way Rajasthan bowled today, especially Sandeep Sharma, Joyda.
No, I thought Sandeep Sharma bowled beautifully. I mean, look, on this surface, it's one of those things that, I think this surface is ideal for the pace of Sandeep Sharma. It also suits him, that 120 to 1, where you're using a lot of slower balls, a lot of balls drifting in and out. I think the thing about it is that you see this, and again, the danger there is somebody like Chahal going for so many runs, which means he's not getting any turn at all. So if you notice,
Ash was expensive as well.
Exactly. And what normally happens is Chahal, normally under circumstances like that, he'll fire it wide occasionally, but he'll also keep it in the stumps and keep you guessing. Today, if you saw, he barely at all bowled in the stumps. So that means he was getting nothing. He was just getting nothing from the surface.
First time he's gone wicketless this season as well.
But do you think it will slow up later and maybe help the likes of Krunal?
I don't think. I mean, they said there's not a lot of dew in Lucknow, and I sort of have to take their word for it. Obviously, we're not there. But I don't think it's going to get more difficult to bat. It doesn't normally get more difficult to bat under lights. It usually does slide on a little more, even if without the dew, just the sort of colder air at night time, it does tend to just slide on a touch better. So I don't think it'll get more difficult to bat at all. So, again, 5 bowlers only. They do not shy away from their jobs. Ashwin had to bowl to right-handers, had to bowl to Deepak Hooda and to KL Rahul. There was no boffin saying, he can't do it, we'll go to someone else. He had to do it. He knows he's got to do that job. Barring that 5 wides, he goes for 35, 36 in 4 overs. He actually bowled really well. Picked up his first wicket for some time too, because he'd gone wicketless for a long time. But I think they've done a pretty good job across the board. And it's one of those situations where I've said it before, but you only got 5. You know you've got to do a job. Just get your head around it. We're not going to try someone else. You are my 5 bowlers. Get the job done. And so they don't shy away from it. They don't shirk their duties. And I think that's one thing you see with that whole bowling unit. They know what's coming. They know what they've got in store. And they're not going to be replaced, or they're not going to be let go And they pretty much, I think they've got the job done. Anything under 200, when we see what the seamers have been going for around the last week of this tournament, you know, guys going for 13, 14, 15, 16, I think they've done a pretty good job.
Well, Joyda, Simon, do you think the bowlers did a good job for Delhi because they managed to defend 257? Because now pretty much everyone seems to be chasing anything down. Mumbai fell short by 10 runs and just that, you know, to see Rafiq Salam again come out, get those 3 wickets, 34 on his 4, he's been exceptional. Joyda, Mukesh, expensive, but he got those important wickets.
Yeah, and Rafiq Salam will particularly hurt Mumbai. He's still on record as the youngest player ever to play for Mumbai. So yeah, it'll hurt them. And I think that's the thing. They never quite got going. And once Suryakumar Yadav got out, you always felt they were behind the 8 ball. And so they were chasing. I think towards the end they made it interesting, but they never quite just crossed that gap. It was always that, you know, tantalizingly out of reach. And I think there was some brave batting towards the end. And again, Tilak Verma is unfortunately stuck in situations where very often he's ending up without support on the other side. And therefore he's having to play lone hand. So 5, I think he's scored 6 50s this year. I think all of them have been in losing causes because there's just nobody else is fired. And I think that's something that they look at very seriously. And now it's, of course, desperation stakes. So Mumbai now are playing, let's put it that way,
survive.
A knockout tournament. Win. The day you lose, you're out. Literally, you're out. Because the next match will not matter anymore. Because at this stage, you've got to win all 6 to qualify.
The template from
all
last
5.
night.
Yes.
The template from last night was completely different. Punjab were always ahead of the run rate.
Yes.
They were always up or ahead of the run rate from the get-go. Yes, the opening combination was one of the big keys for it, and Prabh Simran was brilliant. But Joy's absolutely right. They just never looked like they were ahead of the run rate, or they didn't get ahead of the run rate, and they weren't even equal with it at any stage. And losing wickets just was the key for them. So I think on a flat one, from a bowling point of view, you take it. You take a win. When everyone's getting belted around the park, and Rafiq has been superb.
Well, the Delhi bowlers managed to keep their cool. There were quite a few cool moments. So let's have a look at the Carrier Room Air Conditioner coolest moment of the match. Have you all picked one for the last match?
Yeah, I've got one, but it's just one of those things, and you can pick so many because the kind of runs that are scored. But I'll go with, I think, Luke bowling to Tristan Stubbs.
I thought as much.
26 run over. I mean, how can you lap him on the offside, you lap him twice on the leg side, then the ball is outside off stump, you lap him on the offside. And then the bowler says, okay, there's nothing else I can do, I'm going to bowl a Yorker. What are you going to do it? And you lap that Yorker over offside.
And then he bowls short because he has no option.
Yeah, and then he gets punished through mid-wicket. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, you look at the ball and you wonder, what can he do?
True.
I mean, there's nothing else unless he hides a grenade and throws that instead of a ball. There was no other way of stopping that batter.
For you, Simon?
I'm going to go with JFK. I know it's JFM, but he's got a K at the end of his name. First over of the game, Jake Fraser McGurk. First over of the game, setting the tone for Delhi. 19 off Luke Woods.
I almost thought you'll find some cool moment for a bowler, but
I couldn't.
I don't think you could.
I couldn't. I mean, I wanted to go. Maybe I could have maybe thought about Rafiq, but the way that game was set up by Jake Fraser McGurk, and to me, that first over set the tone. And he just carried on from that moment. So the first over of the game, Luke Wood, 19 runs coming off it. That was my coolest moment. The way he just kept his composure, set the tone for Delhi, and they carried on from there.
Let's have a look at what you all have written in and to see if you all managed to get any bowler in your coolest moment, maybe. Let's have a look at what Khurram Ali has to say. Ooh, there you go, Simon.
You give him a ticket as well.
Yeah, he's gone with JFM. He's gone with JFM though.
He's gone
I'd like
with
to get the
JFM.
K in there somehow. I don't know.
Has to be JFM. His innings just like a solid base and clean hitting. Next up is Mubassir, and he says Khalil Ahmed spell. Well done, Mubassir. Khalil Ahmed spell of 3 overs after dismissing Rohit Sharma. He seals the power play with a crucial wicket of Suryakumar Yadav on the last ball, turning the match in Delhi's favour.
Yeah, that was another one as well. Brilliant slower ball, off pace. He completely, and you don't see Surya Kumar Yadav get deceived very often.
Yes.
Completely deceived. And I love that one. I love that one. I might change my mind
And that
and go with our winner.
you want to go with that one?
I want to go with our winner. I like
You
him.
can.
I like that.
You can go with that.
Yeah.
Bowler as well.
Yeah.
Bowler,
very good.
bowler.
Well
Let's
done.
have a look at who else has written in the last one. Harsh Tiwari says,
Now, you want to change your mind again?
Oh, can I change my mind again?
oh, you can, Simon. Well, I think that's very cool.
Yeah,
I think that's
my
very
point
cool.
is it a desperate wish or is it a series of phone calls that's been made? I need to know.
Yeah.
The nation needs to know. Simon, the nation needs to know.
As a good journalist will always say, Joy, I cannot reveal my sources.
Oh. Or like the CIA says, I cannot neither confirm nor
Nor
deny.
deny.
this.
Yes.
exactly. Exactly.
All right, we really found some very cool moments in our carrier room air conditioner, coolest moment of the match. Thank you so much always for writing in, and you all gave us quite a laugh today as
Very
well.
good. Yeah,
but
nicely done.
I was the one who had the last laugh.
You were. You were. Look at her smiling like a Cheshire cat.
Look, let's put it this way, she'll never audition for a modesty place.
No.
I've learned to lose all my modesty at Cricbuzz. I learned that to survive here, it can't.
Okay,
Yeah, no, fair
I
enough.
just want you to
Fair
know
enough.
that Gaurav Kapoor is watching every scoreline like a hawk.
I know he is. He called me in yesterday saying that you don't win any. I'm not there for 3 days. So he made those calls. But I think Joyita, you go first because I won. He almost did. So maybe your turn.
Oh, she's basically saying you're the loser, Joy. she's very. I mean, she's so lovely smile on her face. But Joy, you're the loser. You go first.
Wow!
I don't know. There's a better way to rub that in. Anyway, what's your number?
Okay, I'm going to go. I like the Beatles number 64. When I'm 64 by the Beatles.
Oh, I like it. Will you still leave me? I'm going to go a little more conservative. Oh, you are looking for no, don't go 57, Simon. Don't go 50. I'm going to go 57.
I was going to go in that space. But now that I have no space,
And I'm a winner.
64, 57, I'll go with 69.
Okay, going high.
Gives us
cool.
the space. I just hope Butler's all right because I saw him step out. So I was pinning my hopes on Butler and Jaiswal getting me to 69. So Butler and Jaiswal are out there. We will go and see who wins this prediction game, and we will give you all the updates at the 10-over point at the Cricbuzz Combox.
जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Hyderabad 50 Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন।